island. We make our contribution. Don't leave us out. Remember, we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. We're in the middle of the carnival. We are the ones who keep up the bacchanal. We are the ones who make the jump, make you jump up and dance. Working to make this fun and see the greatest summer festivity. And yet, we treated Calypsonians and bandmen like dirt. All you we weren't.
Elvira, Samara, Kevinia, Crystal and Trinella. Island girls, oh yeah. Island girls. Sweet little island girls, five girls from Antigua. We love you of this world. You are true trendsetters. We just want the best for you. Want the best for you. 'Cause our love for you is true. Our love is true. Black and white, or red and blue. The whole nation proud of you. So do anything you want us to do. We'll do for you. So do anything you want us to do. We'll do for you. You want us to walk across the ocean. We'll do. You want us to follow your motion. We'll do. You want us to go like a mirror. We'll do. And work right back to Antigua. We'll do.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome back to We're the Ones. I know. I've been on a little break. It was for a good cause. I was waiting on the girls to come back. Yeah, believe that story. Believe that is the truth. I want to just, before I even get into a proper welcome, I have to deal with that song for Onion, right? I have to deal with that song and that chorus. Anything you want me to do, anything you want us to do, we'll do for you. Ladies, nothing tall goes. I know that, right? This go like a mirror, yes, I will definitely go. Roll back to Antigua, take the plane, come back, wait for you, row across the ocean. I will sail across the ocean. Where I can get sleep. I've been hearing some stories. But having said that, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Officially welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Thank
I don't
you
know
for
what
having us.
safe and sound.
Thank you. Yes, safe and
Don't think
sound.
I'm crazy, but it's a good thing. Yeah. And to my guests on Facebook, yes, I'm seeing all the welcome back. Yes. I know it's not me. Oh, really? Somebody said long time. Oh, that's so sweet. Girls, nobody talking about me now. It's clearly all about you all. Okay? So, you know how it is. Well, we're going to spend a little time together. And I'm going to ask you all the questions that nobody else asked, I think. I have a few of them in my head. Because as everyone would know by now, our girls have been all over the media saying thank you and sharing their experiences. And I've heard some hair-raising things and some calmer things and some interesting things. And so I want to start. My question, it's been, every time I went online and looked and saw an update, I remember when y'all were leaving, I asked y'all about the bathroom thingy. and I am still puzzled. You were out there for how many days?
Just 47.
47 days.
Just 47. There's still people out there now.
Hold on. Wait. I heard the second, so let's go. You're out there for 47 days. 8 hours.
25 minutes.
Uh-huh. 50-something seconds. Okay. All right. See. Y'all hear that? You got that? Yes, Miss Jarvis. They're looking very fresh. I'm telling you what I'm reading here. Yes. So I want to know, how did the bathroom thing go? I know before you left, the whole story was you were going to have a facility, a mobile, portable facility. How did it work out?
Well, we ended up having two, which worked out great, actually.
One per side?
No. Number one, J number one, and J number two. You see, yeah, so, you know.
One for number ones?
One for number twos.
And to be honest, we also had disposable
Biodegradable bags.
Pallet liners.
Yes.
So that made it even, you know.
So you did the tinkle in the disposable, in the J number 1.
Yes.
And then what happened to it?
Rinse it out.
You can throw it over the bowl,
Chuck
wash
it.
it out.
Okay. And then you do the number 2, and then what happened?
Tie the
Same
bag,
thing.
chuck it.
Yeah, we actually
The
have
disposable
envelope
bag.
for the
Yes, if
last-
they're
Everything is
biodegradable.
Ah, you know what that reminds me? Well, I didn't have biodegradable growing up just up the road, right? Should I say that? Lord have mercy. Yeah. Growing up just up the road, just up Booby Alley side there, we used to actually have little paint pans. So we'd do the number, put it in the pan, and then just tiddle it down to the water and then dispose
See,
of it over
same.
there.
So,
So I
you
figured
see.
there was a way, there's a method to the madness, but I just had to ask how was it done. And you got to go into the little cabin thingy and did your
of
thingy.
course not.
in your bedroom,
Of course not. You know, and with rocking waves, no, we were
right there in front of us while we're rowing.
in the open, fresh air,
So you
nice moonlight,
No privacy.
great sunshine,
No privacy.
rain.
Real country style living.
No. Country style living, you can go in the latrine. No matter with that. No matter with that.
Just know all
Well,
the
I
male
tried
teams,
making
no
one
privacy.
once out of a yoga mat, and the wind blew it off. So it
You
didn't
tried to make what, a little
Cubicle.
cubicle with a yoga mat. Yes.
with
I
the
have
yoga
a
mat? Now,
picture.
like, well, hold on. You
Yeah,
have a
that made no
picture.
sense.
Slow down. Why you have a yoga mat on the boat?
Okay.
Oh,
to be fair, this was during
Before
our
we
round the
went.
island.
No, but we do have a yoga mat. It's
Yoga
to
mat to
help cushion our bed.
Bedding.
Especially in our cabin, the cabin that Kevin and I stayed in, it's actually right in the water. There's no separation between, well, the only separation between the water and us is the fiberglass hull of the boat, which is not even an inch thick. So we had yoga mats put down, and then we had a mattress that was, what, a mattress? Right?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
microfiber
it was
mattress,
like
a
probably
thin
1
one.
inch thick on top of the yoga mats, and that's where we slept.
Audience, the radio people, audience, I know you can see me. Radio people, I'm just trying to get the 1 inch thick in my.
It might be an inch and a half.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Okay, all right.
Inch and a half.
And that's
But
what you
after
start.
you lean
Well,
it for a while.
Yeah.
then again, it was only for 2 hours, so like, you couldn't get so.
47 days. Don't forget the 47 days.
Yeah, but you got the 2 hours break to row and so on.
That's why
and
you
so
needed
on.
as much comfort,
Exactly.
because you needed to get to sleep as soon as you can, because you had
Even
to
the
go back.
seats that we sat on, after a while, you had to switch them out.
Yeah, they started, losing cushion.
Cushion, exactly.
The seats, the seats were soft, satiny.
Well, we had
No.
or you
we had cushions on top of the seat that
Oh.
started to
to give.
not exactly.
Okay, so everybody had like their own cushion, and so when they went on, they would take their
We
cushion.
did, but we just used the same one. And then when they
Afterward,
started
didn't
to go
matter.
in, we just added or switched.
Okay, sounds.
Really roughing it.
I know you most. I think all of you have said you'd do it again. Yeah.
In some form or
Yes.
fashion.
So
Yeah.
have any of you been to a psychiatrist
Not
since
as yet.
you returned? You haven't checked the psychiatrist yet?
Not yet.
You
Not
plan
as
to?
yet. No. But
And you would all do it again together. Well, clearly y'all bonded well.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely as a team.
So was there anything at all underwater that put real fear in you? On reflection.
Everything in the water put fear in Samara. Everything.
The sea pharaoh feared things in the sea.
I'm at a loss for words. How can the seafarer, F-E-A-R, fear, F-A-R-E, seafarer, right? Fear, F-E-A-R, the sea. What's up with that?
I've been out there for a long time, and I've seen some things. I've never really had any close encounters with them, just a shark one time. But I try to keep away from creatures, land and sea.
I know about the land creatures. I understand
I'm
that.
afraid of lizards, so
What?
Oh my gosh.
it's like
Yeah, I wasn't very happy with her when the dolphins came by. She's always screaming and scaring them away, and we're trying to stay quiet so they can
they don't
come
have to see them
closer.
so close.
Yes,
hold
we
on,
do.
hold on. Why you don't want them close by?
Listen, let me tell you
Ask her
this.
that again.
Everything seemed to happen on our, Elvira and mine, our 2 to 4 a.m. shift. Everything. The dolphins would come by, and
But isn't that like
on
a good
their
luck
shift,
That's
charm?
great.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but the dolphins will come by on their shift, just calmly pop up, go back down, go away and come back. Then on our shift, they wanted to jump.
They
wanted
love
to do
y'all.
tricks. They wanted to come right up to the boat.
And then
I'm
she's
not
like,
about that life.
warm to them.
Push, help out.
I'm
we
like,
get
tell
away with
them
going,
come
I'll
row.
go
So then
back.
that's what you see. So then maybe you needed to let them come closer,
Yeah, but yeah, she
negotiate
scared them
with
away.
them.
No.
Elvira
Elvira
even
had
had a
some
language.
weird sound.
She had what?
She had
language.
weird sound.
Dolphin
She was
language.
What kind of
weird.
language? You
One
have-
time we thought we saw either shark
I
or
think
whale,
they
and
were
this
sharks.
girl just make noise. And just
Listen,
scare
I
this stuff.
take my oars and I hit the water and tell them, go about your business. You
Hitting the
can't-
oars was it a good thing? And if you damage the
For
well,
two.
No, hit them in the water.
Oh, okay.
So chase the creatures away.
I don't understand why.
Neither
This is
did
part
I.
of why you're there to
Yes.
to explore nature.
Yes.
I
She
didn't,
was
I didn't go
there.
to explore nature.
Huh?
I
It wasn't
why
why she was just there to row, come back home.
Right.
And
We-
race.
England,
we
and
wanted
the seals were coming near.
She just make nice scream. Screams.
You want wait, hold, you see the seals and you're supposed to see them. For the record, you see, I can say anything you want because me not making money. I'm just saying that, but I mean, yeah, seriously. Now, so apart from seafarers' fears, we're gonna do a tongue twister with that one. Anybody else had any major concern while you were on this? I mean, I know you went out expecting anything, I assume.
Yeah, kind of. We were expecting anything but hoping for nothing. We were hoping for an uneventful fast crossing. That didn't happen.
Uneventful fast crossing.
Yeah, which didn't happen.
Fairy
So,
tale. La la la. Okay, carry on.
I know for me, my fear was that we would never get the autopilot working again, which meant we would have to hand steer and row one person, which meant we would be out there.
A little longer?
Who knows how much longer?
Why?
Because when our
Oh,
auto,
because you'd be one
person row, one person steer, and hand steering is different. So that's when I started to worry a little bit. When the
How long was it out for?
it had been giving us trouble for a while, going in and out, but it completely failed for about 24, over a little over 24 hours or so, maybe 24 to 48 hours. But it wasn't, that time was not fun.
When I heard your autopilot failed, I concluded, that clearly autopilot's failing is a part of this. Team 1, autopilot failed forever. Team 2, autopilot failed forever, plus. And then I hear Team 3, autopilot. And then following the other teams, you're realizing, oh, this is a thing. Oh, okay, so expect the autopilot will fail? Is that...
No, Team 1 had they didn't have autopilot failure per se. They had electrical issues, so they had... Sorry, Team 2. Team 2.
Oh, I thought they had a...
Sorry,
okay,
Team 2.
all
Yeah,
right.
they had a power system problem. So to save power, they had to steer during the day so that they could use the auto at night. But they didn't have an actual autopilot failure system.
Oh, okay.
We had no power issues, but our autopilot failed completely.
So explain to John Dotish public like myself that when the autopilot fails, what does that mean?
Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. So basically, the autopilot is what we use to steer the boat, so we don't have to physically hand steer it. It's just like the autopilot in planes.
Oh, so you push it in
You-
that direction and
right.
say go.
So you have to, right? You set it on the rudder and set the course, and that basically steers the boat. What happened the first time it gave any sign of trouble was the first day. That we, yes.
Day one.
And then it turned
yes,
back?
we went out, we were rowing for what? 4 to 6 hours or something like that.
You couldn't go back and like get it fixed and then go back and start.
Waste don't
Just
start.
wasting time.
Yeah, waste
Right?
don't
So
start.
I was basically hand steering for most of that time. Then Elvira went to, I tried putting it on a few times, couldn't get it on, and I'm just like not bothering with that. I didn't think it was an actual problem at the time. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just hand steer. Then Elvira went to put it on, same thing, and then we eventually just changed the ram.
Just use the spare one.
Use a spare ram because we had 3 spare on board. And then when
3 spare? What is a little thing? The boat.
it's about
Yeah.
this long.
The
Was it?
boat is small. You have food, you have water. Where you have find time for all these things? We'll come back to that. Go ahead.
And then in about the 5th week, it gave another problem where it stopped working. And then what did we do?
We
Oh,
checked
we
the socket.
checked all the wires.
We changed the fuse, the socket.
cut all the loose ends off and then rewired the boat basically, and then it worked for.
Hold on. That's
about
wait.
24
Who was injured there?
Well,
I did all the repairs
Because the way she said it, she cut the fuse, tick, 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 tick. I'm
Sounds
like,
very impressive, right?
yeah, man, yo.
it's minor stuff,
Ah,
and then it
shit.
failed again completely. The system was saying autopilot cannot work due to current load or something like that. Current limits.
And ships, something with ships. I
And
don't know. It was
jamming, some jamming thing. So we knew it wasn't jamming, so we knew it had to be something with the wiring or whatever. Call almost everybody with First Atlantic campaign said, oh,
It's 10 o'clock
in
at
the UK.
night.
We'll get back to you tomorrow. Just hand
Hand
stay
stay
throughout the
till
night.
tomorrow.
Like it's no big thing.
For
We
them,
didn't have
clearly,
a
they're going to
choice.
sleep.
The next day, expecting to hear from them with good news. We never even heard from them the next day. We didn't hear from them the other day. But the amazing
Well, I called
thing was,
and they said, we think all your rams went bad.
And then Ray Marine, who actually makes these rams, they didn't have a solution either. But thanks to Team Antigua Atlantic Roars, because they, while we were looking for options from the race organizers and the makers of the autopilot, they were also doing their little research and trying to troubleshoot as well, while we're on the boat still trying to troubleshoot.
How far away were you from Antigua this time?
I would say maybe
1,000 miles?
no. We were a good maybe 4.
Yeah, we're 300, probably under 300.
Okay, you meant to, you meant to plenty miles far.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Jeez.
you know, and then the last time it failed, we were about 4 days from Antigua.
No.
4 or 5 days. Further than that.
Yeah, it was about 300
And so
miles.
my question is, so during all of this autopilot failing and you having to hand steer and all of them things, y'all didn't at any point feel like enough of this shit, I want to go home?
Wasn't it?
No.
No, it
What-
was
No, we
the only
just-
way we could get home
It's
is to row home, hand steer, which takes longer, or fix it, find a solution, fix it, and get here faster. So we did not have an option. So
Okay.
you know,
Reasonable.
we found a solution where we had to switch wires and all of that, and then
Yeah, so
it
they
worked.
called us and told us to
Yes.
try this because apparently
They
back
had
in their
some-
training they had an issue and that had worked. So when we tried it, it actually worked. So
So
thank
we did
you,
that. Thank you, team.
Team Antigua
Antigua
Atlantic Rowers.
Rowers.
Whoop, whoop.
And we got on the ball, and our daily prayer after that was
Just-
probably our shift prayer was
Please
let it
don't
go
fail,
to
don't
Antigua,
fail.
just get it home.
'Cause it's
Was
still-
the last one.
Because we're in the cabin, yeah, and
It
it was
was
still
still
getting
struggling.
sounding like it's struggling,
Struggling.
but at least it was
And
working.
then not
Tell
only,
you it
but
was a
not only,
fabricated one.
yeah,
She
not
piece
only
from
did
three
we
different
have to
parts
switch
make one.
wires, I had to unscrew one from the motor from one, put it in another one, then put the wire into another one. It was crazy.
Sound like
but
we can get you a new degree. Honorary degree in engineering? Okay.
It was crazy.
Add that
but
to the
we
list
got
of
home.
things.
And then after that, the drama did not stop there because they have a next drama in
There's
them.
more
Well,
drama?
Well, yeah, the near capsize Friday night before we got here, and that was, I think, our worst fear because it was a night that was dark, no moon, and we didn't actually go over, but
We went perpendicular.
Pretty much.
Very
Yeah.
close to going
Degrees.
so those are the only
Right.
times we had
Like so the
something.
boat, like the boat
Went on
Tilted?
right on the
side.
side.
And
Eh.
then slam back down.
And where y'all were when it was on its side?
Well,
So
Kevin
Crystal and I, we were actually rowing,
on deck.
and I was shoved to the safety strap. Probably if it wasn't there, I would have been off the boat.
I know, right? I'm really happy
If
that
the-
this year they put
the-
in like
the middle-
second safety strap.
Yeah,
Before
'cause-
there's just like one.
One at
Okay.
the top.
So,
So
good job,
I
Atlantic
probably would have
Campaigns.
been there, not on the boat, because I think I have like the shoulder.
Yeah.
Where, but yeah, and yeah, that was a little scary. So after that, we were paranoid and
Oh my God.
really
And we're
ready,
ready. Okay,
and
let's get
trying
this
to
done.
come home. Yes.
Okay. So, how many of you actually went into the water?
Just
during the
Crystal.
trip?
Uno.
We can't
Yeah.
afford to sacrifice so many people, Petra.
We mean,
That's exactly what she said. I really did offer to try and speed up the portion. She said, nope, only one at a time.
Yeah.
And we harnessed her on, and we also tied a rope around her, keep her close in case.
I thought
in
about
case.
it, but
You
then
know,
I had a
she was in
dream
good
and I
hands.
said, no, Crystal, I had the dream.
I didn't think
you're
about
going
it.
on your own.
It wasn't even an option for me. Crystal knew this from
Before she
beginning,
left.
before we left
Yeah.
Antigua.
you had a dream, that's why you didn't go
I
out
had several
over?
dreams that were
Yeah.
crazy, but this particular one, I dreamt that I was in the water cleaning the side of the boat, and there was this dolphin that I just turned around and this dolphin was
Had
just
to
sat
be a
there.
dolphin, didn't
Yes,
it?
sea creatures looking at me, and I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me, and then it turns into a whale, and it was gonna. Well, I didn't know it was gonna eat me, but in my mind I knew it was gonna eat me. It didn't show that it was gonna eat me. Crystal is up there just saying, "Just punch it in the nose, punch it." She just repeating that, "Punch it in the nose." This one, she's on live videoing me and just laughing her head off. And I'm just there, oh Lord, please let me get a heart attack and die now because I don't want a fish to eat me and all
Well,
of
to be
that.
fair,
And
those reactions are exactly what we would have done.
Yeah.
Kev really would have done.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I would have completely said punch
punch it in the nose.
Yeah, and
Everything
I would
punch it in the
probably
nose.
be on live showing y'all how she's reacting for no reason.
But
So
I
we
just
got-
knew that whale fin because it turned from a dolphin into a whale, so we call it a whale.
Whale
No,
fin.
she calls it a
Knew
whale
it was
fin.
gonna eat me, so I just wanted to have a heart attack and die, so I didn't have to suffer.
A heart attack is painful. You know what, Crystal, come help, bail me out, please. So you went into the water.
Yes.
Your job was to, as far as we were told before you left, clean the barnacles.
Off the bottom of the boat.
What is, when y'all were coming in, Eli was saying to me, "See the barnacles down to the boat," and see me going like, "Where?"
You see, that's because I did such a good job.
And then he's like, "No, look there," and I'm like, "Where?" And then Gemma, I can tell you about Gemma off here. I can tell you now how you freed boat. But that's another story. And then Gemma goes, "Yeah, look there. And so, of course, to make sure I was not left out, I'm like, "Okay, see them. See what? Not that thing."
Good, because I cleaned it so well. And we'll go with that.
So the cleaning of these barnacles was supposed to do what?
So the barnacles stood on the boat. It's like just had been extra drag and resistance against the water.
Okay.
So cleaning the bottom of the boat and the barnacles, it smooths out the boat and you go a lot faster. We actually I love when we clean the boat because right after we're just going like pick up like an extra knot or so, and we're just like,
Oh, so those were the times when you saw y'all did 73 nautical miles in a day, and 64. Trust me, I have a daily log. One morning I got up. We'll talk about my push-ups another day. But one morning I got up, did my push-ups, and then went to the kitchen to do whatever I had to do. Gone back on my phone, my messenger's full. Open it. So, how did it this morning? I'm like, look, I'm up for ourselves, no man. Jesus, I'm praying. But no, I could really see when there were times when you just see extra speed, a wind and everything. Okay, and you did not feel, apart from being overly harnessed by your crazy friends, you did not feel any fear going into the
not
water.
at all. No, I mean I looked forward to it.
Jump, you're a dolphin.
Yeah, I felt really, constricted because when the dolphin pod came with like 60 to 100 dolphins,
You wanted to go in the water?
I
She did.
so wanted to go in the water. I wanted to jump
She
in
did.
and just like just be with nature. It was
And why you didn't?
because they wouldn't let me, and then I needed to be tethered on. Because I wouldn't just jump in, especially
Right.
with the waves coming,
Right.
as it were. That's just a suicide mission. But I would need to be tethered in, and would need help being tethered in, and no one was willing to do that.
Nobody can help you.
So
She just wanted to swim with the dolphins.
exactly.
What were we gonna tell people? Anyway, I got her on video giving her disclaimer.
A disclaimer, tell everyone that you did this of your own free will.
To what? To clean the bottom of the boat?
No,
Or to jump in with the dolphins?
Yeah.
It was amazing. Who wouldn't want to swim with 100 dolphins?
Exactly.
Me?
And me.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay
You
then.
wanted to go too?
Yes.
You're lying with Crystal too much.
Oh boy, that's scary. All right. So, another interesting question I had for you guys. Y'all fell out?
Of
On the
course,
road
all the
side.
time.
Normal stuff.
All the time.
What you fall out over?
Different things, food, Crystal ate all the oranges.
Yeah.
Every time, most of the videos I saw with Crystal, she was eating.
And that's what she did most of the time.
Crystal, I'm sorry, I ratted you out. I take it back. Every time I
No.
saw Crystal, she was very jubilant and buoyant
And eating.
and soulful.
And eating.
Better?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm not
Don't
gonna-
forget
I'm not
eating.
gonna lie. I can't really deny that. I mean, everyone knows that now. And anyone who knew me before knew I had almost no conscience when it came to food.
Oh, you are always like this.
I'm a swimmer, so yes.
Yeah, all your yam plenty.
It's not the fact that she ate a lot, she just didn't have a conscience.
So when you say she had all the oranges, what
Yeah.
oranges? Y'all had fresh
We had
oranges?
fresh oranges, a box of oranges. But
you know we haven't had
see, the
oranges so
problem
long,
was,
so
right?
we've had it in TV.
Yeah.
The problem was since Elva and I had gotten seasick on day one, so we didn't have an opportunity to really enjoy any
The box was
oranges.
still in
And
the back.
unfortunately, it was placed in Crystal's cabin, so every time she went in, she had an orange.
When you went in, you were supposed to sleep.
Yeah, but every time I go in, I have to eat before I sleep and then eat after I sleep.
But
Those are
the thing
important
is,
things.
She ate before she went in the cabin.
That's two. And so
and
she ate before the
when
start
she
of
was
her.
in the cabin as well.
And then she ate when she came back up before she
Yes.
started the room.
Yes.
Of course.
Y'all had food left over when y'all came back.
We
I know
had-
most people I see would have.
We
food
didn't have
left
any
over.
snacks left. We just had the mandatory stuff that.
Okay, no, to be fair, we were like 2 weeks over what we were supposed
Yes,
to
that
be,
is
so
true.
That's
So
part of the issue.
that's part of the issue.
However,
yes.
I do take responsibility because I do not shy away from things I have done. So yeah, I apologize to my teammates. If we do another voyage like this again, I will be more.
We'll keep
conscientious.
our oranges. we will keep our oranges in our cabin.
We're gonna tie her down and put her in a cabin.
them all
When we
over.
wake up, we untie you.
No, we just keep our
Hang them
cabin.
all
Our
over.
oranges in our cabin.
No, but I suspect that her eating so much she contributed to the rowing.
we all contributed.
Yeah,
I mean, she contributed more with the rowing.
wasn't-
Crystal, I'm working with you here.
I know, right?
but
I'm trying.
I understand. I appreciate that, but I cannot throw my teammates under the bus either.
She was just trying not
So-
to lose weight.
That's pretty much it. I was really,
Oh,
really
I
scared
love that.
about like losing 20, 30
Getting
pounds.
any smaller.
And
I know.
coming back
I
as
don't
a
know what I
skeleton.
would have had to lose. I would just come back like skin and bones, and I was terrified of that. So
She ate,
Oh, okay.
and she always ate.
Speaking of losing weight, though, certain people, when we were coming in on the boat, I
like
don't
a
know,
different
Jupiter, if
person,
you can
right?
pull up that clip for me. When we were coming in on the boat, I got this awesome clip. Well, I got lots of clips, but Jesus, never mind. I was crazy because we were were having this KFC discussion, and everybody was trying to figure out where's Samara. And we're looking like, they're like, no, that's not her. I was like, no, that's not her. That's a slim one. And then somebody said finally, what is her? I'm like, okay, so what the problem? Poor me not paying no mind. They're like, she's skinny. I'm like, yeah, she rode nonstop for like a couple of days. It did that would do that to you. But how was your eat? Since certain people ate so well, how did you do?
I struggle. Kevin and I struggle the most on the whole journey. Even before we actually did the journey, previous rows, the one to St. Kitts, even just training rows up and down the western side of Antigua, we really struggle with food. And so we would basically live on
Protein
before
shakes.
on prunes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And now on the journey, I had like a protein shake for breakfast and
A wet
one
ration.
meal per day, and I had to literally force to eat. Kev would sometimes explain to me,
Because you have to eat to
for
live
performance
and perform.
and feel
that's what she used to say. Eat
Yeah,
for
that
performance.
sounds like a
And
plan.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, and it's like we really did not have an appetite out there,
Yeah.
so it was.
Did those
it
things
was a
taste
chore.
good?
Not well. The dehydrated food, no.
I can't ask Crystal because she just ate, but the rest of you.
The
did
dehydrated food, no. But the wet rations weren't bad. And the protein shake is what, like she said, we
Just
had
regular protein shake, like what we're
most-
accustomed to.
Well, no, this is a little different, but more tasty than the regular ones, which was
Really?
great.
You
Yes.
need to give me one because I hate the protein.
Okay, I'll give you one so you can try.
So, in terms of now, I going another angle again. I know you said you made some calls, but were you able to keep in touch with? Because we were told on our side, you can't see the post that we were doing, thankfully, because we had all kind. You know how Antiguans love drama, right? The posts them were dramatic. First, when you all went south, everybody wanted to know what go on. And then some of us were like, oh my God, them lost. And then could come in behind last. You lost and they could come in. And we went crazy. So we knew you guys weren't seeing those things.
Yeah,
And
no.
then we were also told that, you know, even if you spoke to your family members, they were told to keep it nice and peppy and fresh. If your auntie, brother, sister, cousin, picnic dead, don't tell you.
Yes.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, so we all had agreed before we even started that we didn't want to receive any bad news out there because
who
Can't
wants
do
bad
anything
news
about
out
it.
there?
nothing we could do about it, and so we don't want it to, affect us, rowing. So we definitely didn't want any bad news. We did keep in touch with friends and family. Like maybe once a week.
Okay.
once a
I
week.
kind of waited till like week 6, and then I was like, okay, I'm calling everybody to let them know that I'm in the middle of the Atlantic and they can get a phone call from the middle of the Atlantic. So I just wanted the novelty of just calling my friends and family just because I could.
I didn't speak to my children at all. I refused. I did call my mom and found out,
How they're
they are,
doing.
give them my love and kisses and hugs, but I didn't want to talk to them.
You'd have probably broken down, huh?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. And you?
Me, yeah, I spoke with my sister and my son once a week on Sundays to check in
Nice.
and stuff like that, keep it nice and short.
And it didn't get you down? It kept you...
No, because they're positive people. My son he's strong. I asked him when I got back, is there any point in time that you were worried? He said only after we passed the 35-day mark, which we set for ourselves, 33, 34 days.
Which is what you said, yes, because you said
Yeah.
you were going to come home in
Yeah,
quick
and I
time.
had left him
That was the plan.
I left him like a jar of notes every day to take out one note, one message from me every day. So then I think when that run out as well, he got a big one.
Yeah, it's like, okay, mother, time to have you now. This is ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah, so I spoke to my family, of course, on Christmas Day, because Christmas is a time when everybody comes home. And like I said, they were trying not to tell us our position and things like that. I'm like, you guys know I have access to other sources, right?
I figured, because that was one of the things I was going to ask you. Were you aware where you were positioned during
Not
the-
initially, but we had some resources to, because we at the same time we were trying to compete. So
You
if,
needed to know what was going on.
yeah, if
Did
you
they tell us when we dropped to the end or only after we passed? Did they tell us?
no, we didn't contact them during that time only. But yeah, and my daughter, I didn't actually talk to her, but I messaged her because we had the inReach, so
Right.
she messaged me, and
Cool.
kept in
Nice,
touch that way.
Nice. So now, did you ever, after you left La Gomera, I'm assuming the first couple of days, maybe you would have been seeing each other at the boats?
No,
No.
just the first
After
day.
the first
Couple hours, you saw
everybody did
nobody.
their own thing. Everybody
Yeah.
just went a different direction and
Yeah,
didn't
by
see
by,
you.
Yeah,
by
you
the
saw
third
nobody.
hour, you saw no one.
Yep.
And you didn't see anybody again after that?
No.
No,
Well,
other boats,
other boats
that are coming
like-
to Antigua.
No, I
Passing
mean
by- no,
other
no,
rowers.
no.
No.
Not at all. Not even. No.
Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
If we had seen other rowers, it would have been crazy out there. You ever watch Rat Race? Children would have
Gotta
been
stop.
shooting them down with flares and...
No, we would not have.
But we would not
She's kidding.
We
Ladies
wouldn't
and
have
gentlemen,
allowed.
she's kidding. Okay, she is kidding.
Yeah, but it would have. I think it would have burned you out a lot more quickly because everybody is gonna be like
Like pushing
full on race
That
mode.
might be a good thing. Get home faster. Just saying.
Fine. And I know you've been asked this question, but I have to ask it because you're as the first. Before I say this, I have to say this. I'm doing some research because every year a record is broken on its way to Antigua or in Antigua by somebody. We must have the most Guinness World Records per capita. So we need to be in the world record in the book just for the fact that we have the
World
most
record.
records broken here per capita. I'm doing that research. But that aside, you are the first first of all, black people that's in a swim. We all broke that. Black people don't sail. We don't break that one there. Then black women go left and picnic for long. You know, not me do that. I'm just going down the list. And then you are the first all black female, all black, not mix up confusion, black team that voluntarily chose to come from the African side of the world to the Caribbean side of the world. Yes. Even before you left, did the weight of what you were about to do hit you?
I
it
don't think
hit us
not
until
before.
out
I
there.
think we
Yeah.
had an awareness.
Had a-
We
Yeah.
didn't like at the start of us forming the team. We did not know. We just did this for the sake of doing it.
Charity
Do it for the
and
crazy.
country.
Do it for the
Yeah.
craziness. the
Yeah,
charity
crazy
and
charity and country.
Right, we're crazy
Um,
first.
And then we became aware of it as we went along.
Yeah.
I think, and we were aware of it as we were crossing.
Right. So when you were
But-
crossing now, I mean, you look up in the sky and you're like, okay, I'm free. I'm really doing this because I want to. I don't need to jump overboard if I am there. I don't. What
Yeah.
what crossed Did you ever have a
All
conversation
the
about
time.
it?
Every day,
every shift.
all the
especially
time.
at
We
night as
referenced it
well.
all the time.
Yes, we did.
I know Elvira used to talk to them. She would be like, I see you. I feel you. I know you're there. I thank you. And she was just behind me and I this girl is going crazy. This girl is going crazy. But I knew what she was feeling because I remember I used to feel a kind of way, and I think I was a bit afraid of sounding crazy to my team members. And one day I couldn't hold it anymore. I'm like, and here I feel drunk or high when you're rowing. Because I used to just feel this high feeling like, I don't know to say if I was possessed. That's a strong word. That's a strong word. But I felt like there was some spirit on me that's helping me to row. I used to tell them, listen, can you imagine, we're out here doing this willingly with food, all the equipment that we have
and prepared for it.
We actually prepared for it, and our ancestors, they had to row in chains, shackled to dead bodies, sick people. They didn't have proper food. They were being beaten while they were being forced to row. And can you just imagine? And we used to reflect all the time about the journey that we were taking, the same route, and we had a lot of epiphanies out there.
Very close to the road.
Yeah.
Did the road.
Yeah.
We went
So it was sort of like they said, during the reflection, it was also sort of a healing process, knowing that they did it so that we could have this opportunity to be free. You know what I mean? So it was sort of a healing process as we crossed that we're not being forced to do this time.
A friend and I had this conversation about the row because we were actually following the weather patterns and how the weather was and and every time the first African team, you know what I mean, descendants to come across the Atlantic, and then he'd say, and you notice the weather's cooperating, and I'd be like, cooperating where? One day when it was very still, and I think there was a video posted that you guys were kind of frustrated about it, and you could see other people's frustration and all in terms of that it was still and it wasn't true. And I enjoyed his attention. He's like, okay, so which one you prefer? Is still for like a bit? It's crazy whether the boat run and tumble over and other, because in other years they've had that kind of really bad weather.
Yeah.
So he was like, no man, ancestors work with them. They need a rest. He literally said to me, they needed a rest. And it's the only way to get a rest, because once the weather good, they ain't gonna rest. So let's just give them a rest, rejuvenate. I was like, what? Hear me. You're sure? I'm sure they're probably trying to roll their backside through that. But he was convinced that this one of the reasons why the weather was
you never
decent.
know. I mean, that's an interesting perspective. But
After the autopilot broke, it was Kevin and I doing the steering and these two going. So everybody was really, really knackered. Everybody was real tired. And I remember we had OKCs during us steering.
We did.
We had big waves, like 8-10 feet waves, nothing too monstrous or whatever, but we had OKCs. And as soon as we got the autopilot fixed, I didn't know if you saw, in the last few days we were just flying.
You flew, yes.
Flying. We had wind in our direction. We had all the traveling seas, and everything was just
working
up like that.
Clearly, our ancestors were they were waiting for somebody like, then reach, then let's how we do.
I mean, yes, and I was so glad that we got the autopilot fixed, because steering in those waves,
have been difficult.
Oh my Lord!
Yes, it would have been.
One of our listeners just posted, they are concerned about, you said 10 feet, 12-foot wave, and you were just saying that's normal. And they're over here freaking out about this 12-foot wave.
The resting on no wind days, that doesn't happen. We don't ever rest. We're always rowing, and on those days, we were rowing harder, because when there's no wind and no waves, the waves are going in different directions away from us.
So you have to push through.
We're pushing extra hard. It's like rowing through mud or concrete. So it was tougher on those days with no wind.
Yeah, but technically we did get to rest, except Crystal, because she had to go clean the boat. So
on those days we tried to clean the boat.
It's still an interesting perspective, in my opinion, because we had to rest while Crystal cleaned the boat.
But I told them, like I was telling them that.
I know, exactly. So that's why I said it's an interesting, it's an interesting perspective.
Like I said, maybe it was
Hello, I was moving the safety clip.
When you
But
look-
rest from rowing. We didn't row while she was cleaning the boat.
When you look to the left or to the right or to the back, there were like thick lines of clouds, and we saw lightning flash, and we saw squalls, everything. But where we were, nothing.
Yeah, we
Wow.
were in the middle of
That's awesome.
Nothing.
storms, like squalls.
Nothing.
And we were always
Listen again. Your ancestors were like,
yes.
Nothing.
we have a team. You never had a team before? We have a team in this.
Nothing.
So maybe they wanted to interact with us a little longer.
Maybe.
Okay. So next time, if you do go back, we will let them know in advance that when you soon as you go on the what, if you do go back, you let them know that okay, we've done this now, guys. So this time
Little
we gotta do it
faster.
for the win.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's pushes.
We would
Exactly.
love the nation to pray for not calm winds.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
a big
I-
thing.
we love
Yeah, we had that argument as well too. Everybody's like calm winds, like no calm wind. I think it was
I'm like, Kev, tell the people and them stop praying for calm winds
And let me tell you,
Tell them pray for wind and
A
sea
traveling
and
seas.
and let me tell you, I think as a praying nation, you know, we've prayed as a nation for different things. I swear, every church you're going down the Sunday, every church, you guys were in every church, every. So sorry, let me apologize on behalf of the praying people. That maybe you got too many seas.
Talking about winds, they wouldn't let me whistle. Big John said we're not supposed to whistle on the sea because it brings winds.
Listen,
But I'm
there's
trying to tell them
three
we needed
things.
those winds.
There's
So every time I started to whistle,
That's
Kev
a
go,
superstitious thing, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Kev said,
but hear me, Petra. My thing is, if the experienced boat
Kev said, Big John said, "Don't whistle."
people say
Superstitious.
that's fine, okay, but that's not my
Yeah,
forte,
that's not
right?
right.
So if you come in the gym and I tell you shouldn't do X, Y, Z, I can understand. You should listen to me. That's my forte. Big John say two things.
Throw him a
there's
bananas
three-
at the start of the
there's
trip.
Three things. Two things you don't
Do.
bring on a boat, and one thing you don't do on a boat.
So you don't whistle.
You don't whistle on a
Elvira, I
boat.
feel for you. Go ahead,
Although
next.
sometimes whistlers like to whistle.
Because I would probably whistle
And
as
you
a
don't
natural
bring
instinct.
bananas and women on board. We already breaking one of the rules.
Guys,
You don't bring
throw
women
up
on
my
board.
banana.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, then you should break every other rule.
Guy threw up my banana.
No. Hold on. No. You see, now that you're talking about the woman story, so you don't bring women
And
on a
yeah,
boat,
well, that's
and
what
you
they
have
say.
4.
Right,
Well,
So then
you
do
don't-
everything
Big
you
John
wanna
didn't
push it.
tell me that. He tell me about bananas and whistling.
You're not gonna tell him about the women, because clearly 4 women are on the boat.
Sailing.
So
You should see him.
I said, if this is their thing and these people, for whatever reason, have this superstition
Right.
going on, why should we not follow it? They're the experts on the
You
boat.
should have seen his reaction.
So they didn't get to whistle at all?
No, every time I started, Big John said not to whistle. Every time.
I feel for you. Whistle for me. Whistle here now.
Exactly because I'm laughing. Women always tell me smile and whistle. You can't smile and whistle.
Don't feel badly. My uncle taught me to whistle. My uncle Papi taught me to whistle beautifully, and then said to me, "You know, the women don't whistle." I'm like, oh. Okay. So, and my father was upset, and everybody. Don't worry, I whistle, but I understand you had power, but the bananas too.
Yep.
Listen, it's a superstition, and you should have
You
seen
should have
his
seen.
reaction.
You should have seen John.
I
John
put-
was like,
I put
I know.
bananas.
It's like he was about to go crazy. It was incredible. His reaction. It was just like, whoa.
He just goes, what is this? To them when he's like,
Yes, so
Okay, I see. Interesting. All right, fair enough. No whistling. No. I want to share this clip. You can run the clip if they can see. They will be able to see it, right? They should be able to see it. And this clip, it's coming home clip. It's y'all are not in this one. I have enough of them. Everybody was. No, the one they had before that one. I
And this is the flotilla coming in. It's absolutely awesome. Of course, the Pillars of Hercules right in the midst. There you go. Where's that big flag?
just a little snippet. How
oh, that's awesome.
I guess them join our in here too. Okay. All right. Yeah. How did it feel when you finally got to see so many of us? This is before you reach the shore, and all these boats around you.
Happy.
You were waving the flag like, was you waving the flag like crazy? I'm like, I was just like, where she find all that energy from? She's not supposed to be in a row.
I was happy to finally see friends, family, people, supporters. Yeah, we were just happy, man. Happy, I think. At that point, it was just, we're happy.
Special when all those people, all those boats came up to meet us. They had 2 stand-up paddles. They
I
came
heard that,
all
yeah.
the
One of the
way
stand-up
out there.
paddlers started
I
at
have
10 in
the
the morning
photo.
to come and meet us.
Yes, I have the photo of him. I'll have to send it for you. Well, I think Gemma, because Gemma was taking of that. I think, yeah, but I have that.
Came all the way out.
For me, I was in one of those boats, and it was the best ride out. Let me, because the first year when the first crew went out, I've normally gone, the little round the island things. Round the island is different to out there. So the boat went like this and that, like this and that, and I held on for dear life. And I said, me not care, we go, me not do this again. So when Eli them came in, okay, fine, I went back out again. It was rough, but you know what to prepare for, whatever. So this third time, Eli's like, you're coming? I'm like, boss, you're coming? These are girls coming in. Okay, I come in. And I braced myself. And guess what? It was so, I don't know. I was talking to Marcella at the same time and we were going out. And we were having this conversation because she said she just felt so, this whole, it felt different. Yes. I mean, for me, it was her first time. But for me, I was like, oh, this is just going to be run of the mill. Another go see them come in. It actually felt different. So I'm just like, you guys must like, oh, look, person. What? Yes. People murder, look at people.
Yes.
And then by the time you came around the corner.
Yeah, but even on the hike trails.
When the trails. Yeah, I have the photos. I'll send them.
Yeah.
Lookout was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Fort Barrington was crazier.
Yep.
I was trying to tell him to put the ironman on Fort Barrington. I hit ton of nice when y'all got that. I was like, Petra, I'm sorry, I just thought. So, I mean, you would have been there when some of you would have been there when the others came in. You've ever been out there for the other?
I tried to go last time, but we couldn't get.
Okay, so then this would have been new for you.
Yeah.
How did it feel seeing? Did you expect all those people?
Nope.
No.
We expected a lot, but when you actually saw, I mean, we talked about it all the time. Oh, we want the whole island to shut down. Expect Antigua to tilt.
Yeah, but because we did the school tours, we were expecting like a lot of the schools.
How they were going? How they were going to get there? B, when do you know? I'm asking how you feel. I'm going to let you say it, but I have to tell you this. You guys came in, and as soon as you all touched on the land, I left. And I'm driving home, and there are cars going up this long, slow line, and I'm putting my head up, they done come in. On a kid. I'm like, where you go?
A lot of people told us they couldn't get in.
Because I'm telling you how I left town at 10:30. And when I got out there, I couldn't get parking. So I just lay with the taxi man and just slip in seats. When I'm slipping in, there's another. But like what? Okay, you know how we stay. That is how I got there. But how did you feel seeing all those people?
For me, because I was rowing and they had left me to row.
They didn't really leave her. It just happened on her shift.
Somebody had to do it.
Someone has to do it.
Wanted to wave flags.
Well,
I just heard the cheers first, the roar. That's what I heard. I was just like, whoa, this was amazing. And I just couldn't, I kept like trying to row, trying to see, and I couldn't see. But when I did, oh my gosh, it was like those colors, the flags, and the first person I was able to like pick out in the crowd was my sister, and we made eye contact, and it was just like
and that was incredible. It for you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Well, for me, my first touch with the reality of the craziness that is about to happen was the mouth of the harbor, because I was the one who was steering, and I knew that the guys from ABSA had told me that the Coast Guards were going to go in front and clear the way so we could pass. You're not Antigua people. Nobody want to move.
We're not about that. Sorry. Guilty.
Nobody was listening to Coast
Guilty.
So, we come in, kind of trying to maneuver through there, and you'd hear the super yacht started to blast, and you saw the workers on there started to cheer, and then when you came around the corner, and you just saw everybody. It literally looked like if half Antigua was in Nelson's backyard.
Probably.
It was so crazy. You didn't know where to look. Listen.
And let me tell you, all the people you saw at the front, there were people at the back who were just giving up because they just couldn't get in.
It was
So when the
crazy.
cheers started, because I stayed right by the boat, so I saw y'all come in, and then y'all hung up y'all family. What I gonna do? I ain't family. I go on my business. And I'm at the back and be like, they in. I'm like, yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, so why are you here? They're like, there's no space for us. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, cool, do that.
You had to really watch your step coming on land because the people were just there. You didn't know who to look on, where to look on. The first person I saw was my little son.
Of course.
In the crowd.
Of course.
And I tried rushing off the boat to grab him, and then there's a whole confusion with that. But listen, I was so happy to be back home, back on land. And I mean, every day on the sea, I used to just say, every time I come home, I come with my till out here, and I told me, take me home, please. You know? So I was real happy to be back.
We used to get annoyed at her because we have the GPS up with the map, and every day she's like, Antigua right there now, you can just throw a stone, even when you're 2,000 miles something away. So finally,
Really?
Antigua was right there.
finally when Antigua was right there, it was amazing. Like you said, I didn't expect that amount of people. I didn't expect the whole multitude. Like I said, we talked about it, we joked about it, but when you actually see it, it's so overwhelming. You got blown away, and I was there peeping, looking for my son. I saw Donna and them with the big photo. That's how I noticed him with the stuff in his hand. Then I picked out pick. I'm looking, and I couldn't find him for a while. But it was amazing seeing all the flags, everybody in their colors, everybody screaming. For me, it felt like if that amount of people came out, that means they were following our campaign, and we raised the awareness that we wanted to, and for charity, what we're doing, our cause. And of course, putting Antigua on the map and the platform we wanted to do. One of our main things, be the first all-black female team, all-black team ever to have completed it.
Wow,
to complete it. So I'm like, okay, so all these people, you were listening. Thank you for coming out. Thank you very much.
Oh no,
Yeah.
there were those of us who just wanted the half a day.
Of course.
There were those of us da-da-da, da-da-da-da,
It was
and
amazing.
It was.
I
It
feel
was
very
amazing.
proud, very proud to be Antiguans at this time.
Yeah, so
Trust me.
that's
When
the we kind of summed up in a couple of words, like they said. We felt proud, honored, privileged, relief, of course, joy, happiness. It's just a mixture of emotions. That and of course, we have felt a lot of gratitude that we got the support that we received. A lot of
Very,
gratitude.
very happy about that. Thank
So
you.
oh Lord, somebody's ever tell you you're a mess.
She is a mess.
Like you're surprised, but yeah.
Yeah, she's a mess.
So
That's very true. She's a mess.
In terms of your charity, it's Cottage of Hope. You've made your selection. Are you satisfied so far with the proceeds that you have taken in?
We are satisfied, and we won't stop there because it's a home, and they've had girls pass through. They'll keep having girls, So yes, our phase one, so far we're satisfied with what has come in, and we definitely won't stop there. We want to continue to provide a safe environment. We met all the girls, continue making sure that they have the academic access to academic education, just food, continue shelter.
First study, you're going to teach them to swim?
Yes, we won't
I
stop.
knew that was coming.
We won't stop there. We're going to continue supporting this charity, and we're going to see how far we can take it. And as Krista said, we have dreams and hope of even providing a transition space so that they can reintegrate into society.
When they become adults?
Yes.
Or if they
Because
have
we
to
don't
move?
necessarily have a place
Both,
like that
either
here.
or.
We don't have one for
Right.
girls, we don't have one for boys.
Boys, right.
Right,
I've been
so
working on one for boys forever. without
that's something
success.
that we would like to also see in the future. So
That's a great
although we're grateful for what has come in and is still coming in so far, we definitely won't stop there.
Speaking of what came in, you tormented me last time. For those of you who are on radio, yes, I'm talking to Kavinia because she told me about do some kind of challenge. By the way, did Neil finish his challenge or he punked out after that?
Of course not. You listen to the joke. Neil came out on a boat with Yusuf and Tian and them, and in the distance the person is shouting and waving, and I'm telling them, guys, that looks like Neil, but it cannot be Neil because
He's supposed to
before
slimmer?
I left Antigua, Neil tell me he could go on this shit. So Neil should be half that size. So I'm like, look at them and say, yes, Neil. I'm like, no, it cannot be Neil. Like, I was convinced it was just somebody that looked like Neil because it couldn't be Neil in my mind. Because
you had this vision of the slimmers.
of course.
Okay. So, because he asked for a respite during the Christmas season. And I kept looking to see if he
said the one day.
resumed.
Yeah, he said Christmas and New Year's.
Christmas and
He
New
told
Year's.
me.
No, he wanted Christmas and Boxing.
Oh, maybe Christmas
And New
Boxing.
Year's. 'cause
Right.
Boxing would have been
Yeah, he
horse
did
racing and
mention
something
a
like that.
couple of days that.
So I kept looking and listening for them to resume and not punk out.
But he's blaming me, and he has promised that
Now that you're back?
yes,
Do it for
he's going to
47
do the
days.
47 days while I try to regain my muscle mass for the 47 days. So we have a new understanding, a new challenge that for the 47 days we're going to be working together. So I'll let y'all know how that goes.
Well, today's not supposed to be about me, right? But you gave me this push-up challenge. Never again. I mean, the never again is not for the push-up challenge. The never again is anytime you tell me about you're all in my vicinity and say, well, try something, I have an answer. It's ready. Would you like to know what it is?
That you'll think about it.
No.
Awesome answer.
No. One word, no.
No.
I started these push-ups. Jupiter, remember we did the ones in here, recorded that. They actually have, because I did some in here.
Okay.
Father help me. And then I got my shirt and I did some more. And my arms went on fire.
That's
and
a
then
nice feeling.
And then I thought that the arms is where I would feel
the
all the
chest.
things. And then as I got a little better, in here open up.
Yep.
And it goes down. Yep.
And then my belly started to pull.
Yes,
and
it
I'm
is.
trying to figure out what the heck. Anyways.
So you
and
should
then some of
actually
my-
you should say you'll do more.
And some of my dangerous friends started to bet against whether or not I could do these push-ups. And so, this is what a little change that I collected.
Awesome.
That will go towards, it's
The
not a lot,
charity.
but I was saving it to give you guys for the
Anything
charity.
helps.
So, yeah, so this
we
is
really
the
appreciate
end result of my pain, aka Leslie and
How about your
Andrew.
gains? Not your pains, your gains.
And then the end result is now, apparently, I'm now in the gym.
Awesome.
A former rower has decided to slaughter me further. He's on vacation, thank God he's not here. Yes, I have a few days off, and he didn't say that you could pick up. By the way, you're resting, so all right. Good. But I mean, what I want to say though about that, and I have to say this on behalf of a lot of people. Apart, we're proud of you and your amazing feat. But I mean, the fact that you guys stuck this through, and there were a lot of people that didn't think you could do it. You know that. I was one of them. Women, we can do it. We can do what we want to do. But the notion that, oh yeah, black young women, really do this, then start and stop, blah, blah, blah. And you guys, yeah, and then that when they say, when we together, the petty, they don't know that when we get petty, it gets a riot, and then we just move through. And that is what I want to just say a few words on the fact that you motivated so many people. I've watched schoolgirls who would just go through school. They're now saying, okay, I'm not going to row, but I'm going to do this. And the motivation. So I'm hopeful that, I know you did the school tours already, and I know that it's time to go back to some semblance of normalcy, because you know that you guys will never be normal again. I'm sorry, disappoint you, but I'm hoping that you're able to just keep that little fire so that the motivation doesn't die. I guess the good thing is because the first team motivated us, brought us together as a nation, and by the time we were getting ready to go farm full, Eli them went, brought us together as a nation, and we didn't even get to exhale, and you guys were there getting ready. I don't know what will come after. For the record, the one of the teams that we are hoping will go, well, they're not going away, but I think it's time we put, which guys? Which guys? Jupiter, you going somewhere? That's one thing. I know my team. We will stay here and motivate the politicians. We're hoping, you can get a group of politicians, together.
That would be interesting.
The PM like to speak all time kind of things into being. I'm thinking, it'd be great, our fearless leader.
Yes.
Pick up 3 of his people, probably one of the women, and go roll the thing and, show us how it's done.
Why not?
Okay. We still have power? They didn't disconnect us? Okay, all right, carry on. Yes. So, I mean, I just wanted to place that, and to read this one. Oh, somebody's in tears since the day you came in. Petra, please let the ladies know we are proud of them and their amazing feat. They are an inspiration to everyone. We will forever be proud of their accomplishments. And that lady, Miss Jarvis, says she hopes you guys will produce a documentary at some point in time on this entire adventure, the whole thing, the significance and so on. Last 2 questions. Already time to let you go and bring in. How the media coverage. I know it's priceless for Antigua because every time you guys go out there, somebody wants to know where is Antigua and Barbuda, and so we get a hit. Tell somebody needs to see how much tourists come now as a result of you guys' trip. But how did it feel going? Because you've gone international. Your faces are now forever etched out there. When we Google, any of your names, Black Enterprise, is it Ebony? Essence, yes, Essence, BET, Sports Max, go down the road. You have been everywhere, and the Caribbean papers are now picking it up. So you are everywhere. You've been in the Jamaica paper. Butch took a break from Gaston and carried you guys. Yeah. How does that feel? Because to me now there is Antigua, there is the team, and then there is the possibilities for each of you individually.
I think we're still trying to grasp all of it.
You didn't expect all of that, did you?
No, we really didn't. But we appreciate it, and getting Antigua out there is also a good thing. Yeah, it's we're still processing it, and we hope to continue to do Antigua proud and continue getting funds for our charity. That's our goal.
You don't see any potential possibilities for maybe some individual businesses, speaking engagements internationally? What's his name? Obama makes like $100,000 US per speaking engagement. That's a good way to get money for your charity.
The sky is the limit.
So exactly, I mean, you could go to the US.
Yeah.
We just open the door and the sky is the limit.
And Crystal, you have plans. Your business. You're thinking outside. Yeah, so just think of how this would have helped
definitely.
To platform.
And, I would have thought of that on the sea as well. I start to process some implications of what we're doing. But,
you had time to think about it while you were rowing?
You had a lot of time to think.
Think about lots of things.
A lot of time to think.
47 days. But we as a group, we're excited about what might be in our future. And we have a good management team with us. And so, I look forward to seeing what happens in the next month, in the next few months, in the next few years. Yes.
I have 3 more questions. One involves Mr. Andrew, so that'll be the last one. But this one before I get shot. The tights. Them tights.
We're in the process of
I am a medium.
Okay, working on the tights.
I'm a medium.
Just stay tuned to our social media page and
No. I'm a good market. I mean, you guys already done all the advertising. What you need to do is to give me one.
Okay.
Let me put it on, and then when you put it on your social media page, and I put it, and then between us,
we'll get them.
Hint, I want the first one
and get back to you.
No problem, because those were awesome. We all do with them now. Y'all have put them in the museum. The outfit that you came in.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, okay. Because those were awesome. I'm like, whoever came up with that idea, props. That's awesome. That was one question. And the second question, so y'all stop harassing about the Guinness Book of World Records. Jeez. Samara, that the photo with you and your son when they came in, that was priceless. Crystal, you're and your sister crying. It was. I'm just reading the things that are popping up. Yeah. Who goes back to work and when?
I go back on Monday.
No, Monday after that.
You're looking forward to going back. You're looking forward to that normalcy button.
Well, it's not going to be normal because I have had tremendous support from my Jimmy B family. I mean, they were one of our initial sponsors. They gave a lot of donations to us, and they still support me in every and anything I do. So I know it's not going to be normal. I'm going to get a lot of hugs, kisses, a million questions that I've probably answered before. Yes, but I'm looking forward to going back to work, making some money, of course, and just, chilling out on the boat with the other boat guys.
Back to work.
I have clients harassing me to start now, but I'm taking one more week.
And I'm sure you have new clients that you didn't think you would have getting
I
ready
don't
to
know
for
yet.
your
I haven't
schedule?
been
Advertising?
answering messages and so
Oh,
forth
okay.
yet. But shout out to my Creative Fitness Issues group who has, and Jason who has been holding the fort.
Oh, nice.
And
So you got to continue making money while you were out.
I hope
Kinda.
so.
Crystal, you got to make some money while you were out. Somebody was holding the
Unfortunately
fort for
not.
you.
Well,
I hope so.
Jason,
Jason?
classes still go on, but it goes to everyone else.
I know, right? I hope so.
You guys got paid while you were out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my Jamaican family is really kind and gracious, and I love you guys.
A national duty. So you were sorted out. All right. Cool.
I didn't get paid. My sister, I'm kidding. But my sister is holding the fort. My sister and brother, at Island Beehive. So I already told them I'm not coming back next week. So after that, they'll see me. So thank you to them.
You're not supposed to pay for next week. You don't come back, you don't rest. No, man. You're pushing the button. She pushing the button. You know them kind of way?
Yes.
You're pushing
It's
the
okay.
button.
It's fun. You have to use it when you can.
I agree. Use it, girl. Use it. Use it. Use it. Use it. All right. And my last, Mr. Andrews, before I bring you on for us to have a chat, is there anything you wanted to say to the girls or ask the girls?
Well, before we go, we wanted to make sure we did
okay,
out.
right.
We want to
So
make sure we
I just
did
wonder
our
if you
thank
wanted to
yous.
do anything first before you do your thank yous, because you get the last word.
Okay.
You good? Yeah. You have anything you wanted to ask them?
I just wanted to ask them because I never got to,
Mhm.
because of all the noise for when they were launched.
Mhm.
What was their reaction when they first saw the drawings of themselves?
Why Elvira booty so big?
Well, so now in our dialogue, so he know
No,
the
you
in
can't look no. You can't look no.
Oh, okay. Cool.
my
cool.
initial reaction. I had loved the character. I didn't like the hair because I am as a black woman. I couldn't identify with the initial, which we spoke about it a lot. As everybody know, I always have my hair either twisted or in an afro, and so. Exactly. I spoke to him about how important a black woman's hair is as a part of their identity. I actually had to
Even me, that don't call mine. Yeah.
so everything. Then he finally graciously agreed to fix my hair, and I loved my afro after that.
Okay. Anybody else has any feedback too?
I loved my locks. Everyone, it's super identifiable. So I really like that. I even like the unevenness of it because mine are uneven. So thank you.
I studied.
Thank you very much.
I already asked my question.
You were on her case. Come to
For
your
me,
case.
I don't know.
You don't remember?
What was my first reaction?
Yeah, you can't remember.
I love the characters. I think it brought a youthfulness to, not just the serious side of what we were doing. A lot of kids can identify with them. They love superheroes. I know my son, but my friend, he done stick them up all on my car, and my sons, they love them as well. So my initial reaction was
Happy?
I loved it.
Yeah.
All right, he's pleased.
And I have to say as well, those figures, they did really well internationally. All our competitors loved them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were just like, that's such a good idea. So they all loved them.
Yeah, and we got large prints and stuck them at the side of our boat, so all
Yes,
the
so-
characters are right there defending
So you sailed across
Antigua
the
right
ocean.
there, so it was nice.
Okay, nice. All right. And so now, ladies, it's over to you. You get the last word.
Okay, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, as you know, we would not have been able to do it last year if it was not for our sponsors, our corporate sponsors. Initial, we couldn't get sponsors, and then the Hadid group of companies came on strong. So we'd love to say thank you to the Hadid group of companies. And following right after them, we had CIU, we had Jumbi Bay Fund, Intertops, State Insurance Corporation, Kennedy's Club Limited, and of course Lady Williams and the Halo Foundation.
And also, big thanks to all the media houses that helped put our platform across. You guys have been such a big help.
It's the least we could do. The least.
Thank you so much for highlighting us and our charity that really helped put our platform out there. We really appreciate it. Big thanks to Gemma Hazelwood, Ted Martin, and of course Kamal Goodwin. Congratulations on your wedding again. But thank you for he designed, maintained, and funded, 100% funded
The
our
website.
And so thank you.
It's still maintaining.
Still
it,
maintaining
so
the website.
Thank
so
you,
thank
G.
you so much.
And people can still donate through the website.
Yes.
Just throwing
That's
that out
important.
there.
Give dollars for
Yes,
encouragement.
www.antiguabarbudaislandgirls.com. We want to say a big shout out and thank you to our team, the behind the scenes people, our admin team, Mikhail Brand, Marcella Andre, Natasha Richardson. Without them, none of this Team Antigua Island Girls will not be Team Antigua Island Girls. We also want to say a big thank you to Donna Francis and Neil Cochran and all our family
Invisible
and
Roar.
close supporters.
Cool.
And finally, but certainly not least, are the two previous teams that went before us. Team Wadadley and Team Antigua Atlantic Roars.
Easy,
Without Team Wadadley, the awareness of this race would not be in Antigua. This race has been going on for years, and we didn't know about it. And with Team Wadadley, they opened up that door, and then Team Antigua Atlantic Roars took the
Kick it
baton
down.
and went with it. Everyone was so excited about it, and they paved the way for us. And they also helped us from day one in terms of our training and preparation, all the way into La Gomera, all the way across the seas. And they were the first persons that we saw coming into Antigua.
Yes,
and
they
visited
came
us,
out.
like, just after sunset. So it was great.
Sunrise.
Sorry. Sunrise. So yeah, we're just very, very grateful for them.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there's nothing left for me to say besides you guys were excellent. You said first team Wadadley, they opened the doors. Eli and his crew, Team Antigua Atlantic Roars, they kicked down the door to that room, and then you guys just said, okay, you know what, let's just build a new house right next to it. Right? And it's not to take away from the accomplishment of the first two teams, but I think because everybody kind of felt so salt to the earth, connected to you guys, it's taken this to another level. In fact, I was talking to Eli today, and he says already he has 70 persons interested. 70. You can read. I have the whole WhatsApp here. He has 70 persons already interested in rowing across to be the next team. Politicians, they say they're interested yet. I'll have to dig them out, ferret them out. Ladies, help me ferret them out. Let's get that team going. Imagine if politicians do it. You know
That would be awesome.
On that note, so I know you're off to your next engagement.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Who's collecting? Yes.
Thank you very much.
Never another push-up in my life. I would do all kind of other things. The other day I had to do a plank.
Oh, that's
for some kind of countdown. And
I think that's harder than the push-up sometimes.
I was in a stationary position. Didn't have to go up and down. That was enough for me. Thank you.
All right.
But, I mean, I know that pales in comparison to what you guys did. So, again, all my respect and admiration and the motivation that you give. I was supposed to play Defending My Flag, but I forgot to ask you for it. I don't know if you can pull it up for me. Young Destroyers Defending My Flag. But, guys, all the best. Thanks for coming in, and back to life, normalcy as much as it can be. Maybe now you'll join the commentary team for the next the groups going on. So thank you much. All the best.
Thank you for
All
having
right. All right. Young Destroyer. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I can't even defending my flag with Young Destroyer. We're trying to get that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. We had Team Antigua Island Girls with us. It was an awesome discussion. I'm so glad to have had that opportunity to do that with them. And of course, we wish them continued success in their future going forward. We hope. Yeah, I'm going to take a picture. You see how the Prime Minister is smart? He positions himself so that even when he's not here, he in our pictures. Do you realize? Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get that photo just now. 1 second. Anything on this? No? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're trying to get but them getting all the photos without yeah, all right.
Putting up one against each other in the competition. That is how they keep us apart. Through all the years we fought and fought the little changes. We're still behind, way behind the time. Artists of other lands living fortune and fame. For Calypsonian and Panman only no shame. And yet still we keep on jamming. Every year we come out playing. Calypsonian and the Panman, east, west, north and south. From every part of this island, we make our contribution. Don't leave us out. Remember, we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up. And friends, we're in the middle of the carnival. We are the ones keep up the bacchanal. We are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up. And friends, working to make this fun and spring. Greatest summer festivity, and yet we treating Calypsonians and Panmen like dirt. All you we were. Hey! Queen of Carnival does be sitting high, looking on we in splendor, one and all. Canada and Europe is where she goes annually. Cocktail parties and all. Even worse cause the fan men get nothing at all. And they work like hell to keep Carnival from falling. It's 21 years we jamming, it's 21 years we play. When police will howl and chase us all over this land. It's 21 years of hardship, working until Jubilee morning. I'm suffering still. Remember, we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. We are in the middle of the carnival. We are the ones who keep up the bacchanal. We are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. Working to make this fun and spring. Greatest summer festivity, and yet we treating Calypsonians and Panmen like dirt.
Hey, we're back. We're back. I'm sorry about that, radio listeners, but we had to take a little break. I had to go try and steal a photograph with the girls. You know, these opportunities only come along once in a while. So we have just about 20 minutes, and we are going to be having Mr. Sonali, I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Sonali Andrews with us. He is those photos, right? He did an awesome design with the girls. If you flip through, I think you'll see that particular one. When you go through, I'll tell you where it is. That he did a design with the ladies. No, go back up in the same set. Try that one there. Let me see. They're not coming up? No, go back again. Try that one. Yes, that should be it. Yes. Yes, you can have that one up. Yes, he did a sketch of the girls in a anime. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah, that can work.
Anime format, and we just wanted to share a little of that with us. And so, if you are watching on via social media, Facebook, you will be seeing the sketch. He'll be coming on camera in a little bit. He's getting ready. You know, our young people have to do their special little thing. They're trying to make me feel old. I don't know why. I'm not having none of that. Yes, so we will be talking briefly for a few minutes with Sonali Andrews. And Sonali is should I say graphic artist? Yes. A graphic designer? A graphic art. You wouldn't believe it. I have everything for you, and on my computer doesn't want to open. Right. Yes, so Sonali, tell us, just give us a recap. You got to witness that interview just now, live and direct. How did that make you feel? Just getting to get close up and have a listen to them. Did that?
Extremely elated.
I saw you scribbling and were you sketching?
I was creating a mood board.
What is that? Tell me about that. What is that?
It's like random words that lead to stories, products, and all that stuff. Personality breakdowns as well. Because I haven't had a chance to actually speak on a one-on-one with the girls from the inception of this whole artwork that I did for them.
So who were you speaking through the artwork concept? Did you come up with it on your own, or was it that somebody contacted you to work through this?
Mikhail.
Yeah. Also, how did that go?
Well, Well, I think this is an opportunity to tell everybody how that all started out. I had just finished a job for Mikkel actually. She noticed my work, well, my graphic arts, because everyone knows me for graphic design, the commercial stuff, brochures for banks and all of that.
Okay.
But Mikkel was the one who noticed that I actually draw and produce comic book type of work. And so she had an idea, which was very different, for me to design a comic book for her son's birthday. And so her son would be the protagonist, and his actual friends that he has in real life would be his superhero friends around him.
Nice.
So in that comic book, her son was the normal one out of the superpowered group of friends. And then in the end, just to put it all together, he actually unlocked his super abilities through trauma, I guess, right?
Okay.
And then when I finished that, she was very happy with it, and then she came back shortly after with the idea to do something similar for the girls, because this is just so monumental, right, what they're doing, and so they are like superheroes, superheroes. So it made sense, and I was very excited to show the world, to show Antigua that this type of talent exists, and I was very pleased that she came to me. So it was like an opportunity to voice my work out there, so people can see, okay, Antigua has this kind of talent. They don't have to outsource to these international people to get this quality of work. It's right here.
Okay. So, like the concept. So, did she give you a concept, or
Yes,
did she
she
leave
did,
you
she
free to
did.
come up with a concept?
I had creative freedom in terms of coming up with how the girls were supposed to look, anatomy and personality, all that stuff.
Okay.
But I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have the
Turn the mic up a little. They're not there. Yeah.
Like
Go
that?
ahead.
Yeah, I didn't have access to the girls because they were already training, so I couldn't bring up.
Sorry about that, ladies. We're just making a quick adjustment.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes, you're good.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So I didn't have access to the girls directly to talk to them and try to observe their gestures and disposition while talking to a person or deduce personality. So I had to go do my own research on top of what Mikkel brought to me with the concept. So I had to go on their Facebook pages, look at their posts, look at how they would structure their words to break down their personalities, to even determine how would their stance be in the artwork in itself. So I started out with Kevinia, and I know Kevinia before the other girls. So I know Kevinia is a leader type person, right? And now even being here, I was able to jot down a few things that I noticed about her in the context of being on that journey. And I realized that she is the most composed one, alert, she's quiet, reserved, seasoned. These are just words that I'm jotting down for these characters to further refine them.
Because I was going to ask you, if you think after this you would probably do some more work on this.
Yeah, this is what my mood board is for. So I just collected a lot of information I could use for things, and I see that she's temperamental too. Right? So I went and did my research, like any good designer would, and I got different poses that I thought would match up with the different personalities. From observing Crystal's images, I realized that she was also quiet and reserved. Elvira seems to be one who likes to joke a lot, but she's protective and strong and can be taken seriously. Samara is the cautious, timid.
Not today. But based on what you saw originally,
based on her experiences with the dolphins and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean when she shined them away and so on?
I could still see that she's the cautious one. That doesn't mean that she's not brave enough, because of course she completed the challenge, right? But amongst the different personalities, she's a cautious, timid, emotional, and you could say passionate one. And then I realized Crystal, because only now I got to break down this, but they match up so well. If you look at these characters against the actual human beings, they actually match up with their personality. And Crystal is also reserved. She loves nature, secretly an adrenaline junkie, Because why would you want to swim with 100
dolphins? Really?
Right?
Yeah.
So I was so happy to get that information so I could further refine the personality. So if these characters were to be animated, I know exactly what they would do in certain situations or environment.
So, curious question for you. Yeah, you just went through that. Suppose somebody wanted to, like, from all these interviews that they've done, we could literally, like, what you say, write a storyboard.
Yeah.
Where you could do what do you call them now?
Animation.
A book, the cartoon
comic
books.
book.
A comic.
Yeah.
Jeez, you can tell who never read comic books. Sorry. Only I read Archie's people. You could do a comic book or something
novel,
like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think from all of this you'd be able to sketch out the different scenes.
Definitely.
That kind of stuff.
I even had dreams and imaginations of how their journey would be. I already had a story that their ship failed and they had to go looking for the part to make the ship work. So it was just coincidental hearing that the autopilot stopped working. And all
so
this
you got a front row seat to some stories.
Yes.
Right.
And it's just amazing how it matches up with how I have it in my head. So it's wow.
So I mean that is what prompted me to have you here today. That but I wanted to know. Tell us a little bit. So if I am watching this today,
right,
and I'm hearing this conversation, what about Sonali would I need to know to get something else going?
Something else.
Sorry, something else. Wrong words. What about you would I need to know if I want to get your services for a project? And what kind of projects? Because you just said you're normally known for doing graphic artwork, magazines, graphic design. Designs. Mm-hmm. You see who does a illiterate one here, to do like brochures and logos and those kind of things.
That's what
so that is the core that you do. That's the bread and butter.
That's my bread and butter.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your bread and butter.
Okay, I've been doing graphic design for more than 10 years. I started out when I was 17 years old. I branched out when I was 23, started my own business. And from there, I have been exporting my services globally. I started with Australia, and then I eventually got on to China, San Francisco, and in 2017, India.
That means you're working from here with these people? Yeah,
from my bedroom.
Oh, nice. How has that been?
It's been good because it allows me to be flexible. So if like my clientele drops a bit or money isn't coming in dry periods, I can reach out to a different part of the world to make money online. So I have done that, but I'm not on it as heavily right now because I have a substantial clientele.
You have a good portfolio of clientele. So that's not just in Antigua, but internationally.
Yes.
All right. And this is what you do full time?
This is what I do full time.
Oh, nice. So one of the things I think I'd love to get out very early is that there is an avenue, because I think many of us in Antigua, when our young people are interested in art and those kind of things, we often discourage them.
Oh yes, I'm listening to the rest of this question.
Should I even ask the question? Ask the
question.
Maybe I'm not going to ask the question you wanted. You anticipating.
Right track,
but I just want to know. So, how do we then encourage this in our young people? Or do we encourage it, or is there more to the market beyond where you are?
Of course, but let me answer. It is true because I have been in that boat for a long time. My parents actually discouraged me from continuing to do art because they figured I was wasting my time. So I actually had to move out at an early age to create an atmosphere for me to thrive, right? Because there was nothing that was going to stop me from doing this. Graphic design is what I'm known for, but I've always had a hunger to do this type of work. And I always believe it can work in Antigua. It's just a matter of time. And it might be me to be the person to inspire other persons like myself, grown folks who stopped along the way because they figured they were wasting their time, and the younger ones who are coming up who want to do this, but their parents and the people around them are probably discouraging them. So I think I represent that person that they will identify with, and they will be encouraged to continue because they see someone doing it and actually making money from it.
So devil's advocate question for you, since you're already in the market.
Right.
Is there scope within your business to take on other artists who would then work on your pen, for want of a better word?
Yeah,
Just like, the international designers, they bring in...
I do mentorship. I have some young and upcoming persons who have been inspired by me for a while now that know me through graphic design, but also dabbles in graphic arts, because it's two different things. So I like to take the opportunity to shout out Stoojko, that's Patrick. What's his name again? Patrick. T and Winter's little brother.
Okay.
Yeah, he does graphic design, and I mentor him. There's another person, his name is Tian Beswick. He won a graphic design competition that I held about 2 years ago, and I still reach out to him and give him advice where graphic arts is concerned. Because one of the things is, Antigua, and not just Antigua, the Caribbean on a whole, for some reason, does not see graphic arts or arts in general as a viable tool for marketing. They depend on only the beaches and whatever other things that I think are a bit old school to bring in tourists, right? Now, if you heard earlier when the girls were talking, when their other persons who participated in this race looked at their vessel, they were impressed by the artwork that was on the ship, right? Now that's going to turn into, can we get something like that, right? Where can we get something like that done? And I know these girls are not going to hesitate to say it was done in Antigua. It was done by Sonali Andrews, Red Ninker Graphics, right? So that also brings in capital to our country, right? Instead of exporting it or them going to somebody else to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, how did you get to do business in Australia and India and so on? What was the lead? Just not to take out all of your business, but just to give out, if there are any young persons listening or parents listening, how did you make that connection?
I always wanted to know how to make money online doing what I love, and it was just like another thing where I was researching. Okay, I read this book that you need to have different sources of income in order to be successful in life, right?
True.
And every different source of income has to supplement each other, right? So you can create like a triangle. So you might be doing teaching, and your teaching supplements your day job, and then your day job is to supplement the other hustles. It's like a circle, right? And one of them is online. So a colleague of mine who was my first inspiration in graphic design, Mr. Nigel Francis, also known as Takumi Media.
Yes, Takumi.
Yeah, we used to work in the same building, same space at once. And he used to do a lot of work online. So I was inspired by the fact he had a day job, but he was doing his stuff online, right? And I was like, I wanted to do that. So I asked him, and he's like, okay, do this, do that, or whatever the case is. So it's just a matter of going onto a website, you log in. So I logged in on the website, and I put my work out there, and people started reaching out to me because they liked my style. And it was a competition-based website where you go up against hundreds of other designers. And the first time I won, I was picked out of a batch of 512 people from around the world, right?
Wow. Okay.
And I won.
Okay.
And from there, I just got hungry. I got hooked on it, and I kept going. And that was it. I don't do it as often now, because the reason I did it, something deep down inside me told me that I just need to win one or two of these competitions to totally convince this person on the other end that they should just stick with me outside of the website. And so said, so done. And that client is actually in San Francisco, who has a franchise that runs to China.
Okay.
So I think it was last year was the World Cup. They reached out to me to do a mascot to represent their company at the FIFA World Cup, and they were back in Russia at the time.
Nice. That's serious business.
Serious business, quietly.
So parents, you hear that? Quietly, we can make it. We can do things. So now back to the animation side.
Right.
How has that been? Where are you heading in that area?
Well, I'm a virgin when it comes to animation in terms of actually doing it. But I watch a lot of it, and by default, I'm in the industry because I'm a graphic artist. Because before anything is animated, it needs to go through a process where the storyboarding is done, the scripting is done to tell the story, the character development is done. I think I showed you some examples.
Right,
Based on what
yes. I think Jupiter, just pull up some of those. Yeah, I think there's one up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah, for example, like those. So those would be the the character designs, and then based on their posture, the expressions in their face, they can already deduce what type of personality these characters are going to have, how they're going to react in certain situations, and all that stuff. So there has to be a production pipeline before it's animated. So for me, a lot of people ask me, Sonali, when are you going to animate something? Are you going to make something? Sonali alone would take years to do that, because I don't know if you've ever heard of the movie How to Train a Dragon. Right. Okay. It's hundreds of people that's involved in this. That's why you see at the end credits,
it's so long.
It's a long list. When you see the designers, it's like 50 different people, right? So I know the process. I can do it, but it would take me too long.
It sounds like you need to build your team locally to then do that.
Well, not necessarily locally.
When I say locally, you need to build a team, because clearly this is a global industry.
Yeah, because I have people that I network with overseas as well that I could send stuff to. Yeah, so I might be good at line work, and that person might be good at coloring, so I could do the line work and ship off the line work to him, and then he does the coloring. But I'm not there yet, because it takes time to build a team that you can trust to get the work done. So Sonali cannot do animation right now. I know how it's done, but it requires a production pipeline.
Fair enough. So you spoke about marketing Antigua,
right?
And the opportunities that are there,
right?
How would you use your work if you were given the opportunity to market us as a country? What would you like to do? What would you like to do if you had carte blanche to do? What would you do?
Well, I would use my style to push different experiences, capture these experiences, probably start off with the photography, and then take that photography and turn it into my artwork.
And that could be a painting that could be purchased.
Yeah, so that it creates a different texture and feel when something is hand rendered.
I have some pictures I need you to look at. I hike every weekend.
Get inspiration.
I hike every weekend. I have all these, and I want something to put on my wall at home.
Right.
So we need to have a conversation.
Right.
Pricing, costing. I think one of the challenges for us in Antigua, we don't buy art. A lot of us like to see. I'm a realist. I tackle real issues. I'm a realist too. And you do spend lots of hours doing your work.
I do.
How has it been with in the Antiguan market, with persons responding to the prices that you charge?
Well,
potentially,
Antigua, they can detect when work is high quality, right? But only a handful are actually open to paying high quality money for what they want, right?
High quality money to locals or in general?
To locals.
Go back to the one with the girls.
To locals. Because I've heard stories before where people outsource people to do websites, and it costs a whole ton of money versus people who are actually here who can do it, not giving any more information. Think they know the story.
I understand you.
But where my work is concerned, because of that unwillingness to pay for quality work, I have become very selective with who my clients are. So I try to study people as much as possible before I get into something, so I know, okay, is this person gonna waste my time or not? So the work you see displayed here is the first type of work I think I've put out there in terms of barter, exchange, or sponsorship and stuff like that. Because
this was a sponsored art.
Yeah, when people ask me to do this sort of stuff and I tell them the price, I tell them knowing that they're not gonna come to me, and that's okay. Because I do this type of work for international clients.
And you get paid.
And I get paid.
And you live comfortably.
And they're happy with the work. International clients.
Okay, don't bother. And I got don't bother when you look at the picture again.
International clients, they appreciate. They have more eyes, so to speak, right? So they can.
I have the eye too. I just don't have the pocket.
Well, eyes in terms of how much their population is. Right. So we have like 80,000 people. So if you're doing this, you're probably seen it every day over and over again. I mean, this is new. I think this is new to Antigua in terms of marketability, right? But to those bigger countries, this is something that they push out every day, and they want something fresh and new all the time, so they can appreciate the work that's put into it,
and keep you busy.
Yeah, and they can appreciate the cost because they are around people like production pipelines, and they know of the process. We aren't exposed to the process, so we can't appreciate this type of work. As far as locals know, this is something that came off the internet, so I'm not gonna pay for that because I can get it on the internet.
I see.
Yeah. You asked about price and value. Someone asked about that artwork? Like, how much would it cost to do something like that?
I was afraid to ask, but since you raised it,
The work is valued at 10,000 EC.
oh, that's not so bad.
It's not so bad, but to some people, it's
But they
heart
wouldn't
attack.
pay it. But that's not so bad.
Exactly.
So then, my question to you would be: this is my last question because we're out of time,
Right.
and I want to thank you for your patience,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen. He was here from the start. I think I told him 5, but he was, and I'm very appreciative of that. What happens? So you would have done this for Team Antigua Island Girls.
Yes.
Is it a donation to them? In other words, if there are any proceeds that come from, say, using this image, does it goes into their foundation, to their charity?
That was the plan, so that they can make as much as possible to go towards their goal.
So, like, let's say, for example, they wanted to convert this into what do you call those? The cards that people would buy, postcards.
Postcard.
Would they have to come back to you clearly to get it done? Do they have carte blanche to do with this as what they want? I know you have, like, just what you were saying earlier, having listened to them, you would love to maybe refine it further.
Yeah.
Are those discussions that need to happen, or is it that this is done and this is for them and they could do what they want with it?
Something like that. But if they wanted to go further with it, as in to design those postcards and stuff like that, because that's actually a good idea. It would be best to come back to the original designer because I know how to lay it out and work.
So you couldn't just use this and just convert it to a postcard size. You'd have to do some other work with it.
Yeah, this can be resized to a postcard size.
Right.
But in terms of singling out the girls, for people to have something more
like if I want a crystal,
if you
or I want to, like those pack of cards.
Exactly.
So I want a crystal.
Like collectibles.
Right.
Yeah. It would be best to come back to the original designer. I already see everything possible that I could do with these characters.
My last question.
Go ahead.
I promise you, that's my last question. We're going to make. I noticed that they standardize their colors when they're out. Like I think I saw crystal in the yellow.
Yeah.
I saw.
They had on the colors that matched up with the artwork.
With the artwork here now.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Because I was going to ask you if you got the match, you go coordinated with their. Because I notice every time they go out, particular one have on this color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright,
okay.
cool.
So the thing about the swatch or the color is it's the colors of the flag the girls are wearing, right? And all the colors that you see in this artwork are from the colors of the Antiguan flag.
Except for the blue.
Trust me,
the blue needs to be a little richer. This is just me. Let me make it clear, ladies and gentlemen, this is my untrained eye looking at it and saying, the blue's normally richer. This is just me. Right. So it's not a criticism, it's just an observation.
That's fine, that's fine. And one of the beauty about the colors and the swatches that the Antigua flag is made up of is that it can create any other color in the world.
Oh, okay.
So you can have any shade, meaning you can mix any color with black and get any darker version of the color, and you could have any tint possible because you can mix it with any white of the color.
Oh, okay, I get you.
So even if there was no green in the Antigua flag, I could mix yellow and blue to get the green, and it would still be Antiguan. So it covers infinitely all the other colors in the world.
Flag designer, you know what you were doing.
Give him his props. Okay. Yeah, so the colors they have on actually match up with the flag.
And now, I know they're feminine.
Yes.
And so you made them effeminate.
Yes.
But I'm wondering, doesn't that take away from the adventure that they went on? This is me as a female looking at it. I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But, especially for y'all guys, when you see all them curves, I think you forget that it's a serious thing the girls want to do. Or you don't think that's a concern?
I don't think that's a concern because when people watch Avengers and they see Black Widow, her butt is on the screen like every 2 seconds.
Okay, I guess. And what's the name? What they call them now? Charlie's Angels. They were pretty women.
And then Captain Marvel is coming out. Her suit is gonna be skin tight too.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is not a guy.
No, she's
a guy.
A captain. No. Miss Marvel, aka Captain Marvel, is a superhero who is the leader of the Avengers team.
I refer to my child. Is a woman lead Avengers?
Yes.
No, it's not a guy.
She's the strongest Avenger.
Yes, woman power. No, put on my hands. All right. So I'm on instructions. Bring him back, please. I was observing him also. Networking. That's the key. I hope my niece is watching. That's what she's doing in college. Thank you. These are just some of the comments that are coming in on the thread.
Yeah, I'd
so
definitely like
see.
to come back and discuss how they could use this talent to make a living from it, and how I go about doing it. I wouldn't mind passing some knowledge to people.
Perfect.
I actually plan to expand because I'm a teacher as well, and I have a few courses coming up that are the photography, concept art, and then I'm going to start over from the Photoshop classes, which a lot of people know that I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is something I'm also going to expand regionally, because not only Antigua...
You can do it online?
I am going to.
Or you're going to travel through the world?
I prefer to travel first, just to get a feel of the people, to see where to continue. But
why do you have on that gloves?
Oh, this is a drawing glove. It prevents smudging on the screen, and it collects the moisture inside the gloves from my hand.
Oh, you draw on the pad?
I draw on the screen. I don't use paper.
What?
I don't use paper. I draw on the screen itself. It's not on right now, but...
You draw on the screen?
Yes, that's what it's called.
Okay, you definitely have to come back.
Okay, so
you need to come back, because I need to see how that works.
Okay, definitely.
So we normally conclude at 6, and it's 6:09.
Okay.
And we must have Jupiter fascinated, because he's not rushing me off. So see, from one artist to the next. Okay, right. Now I know what to do. Bring an artist to close out my show, and I can go as long as I want.
Nice.
Sonali, it has been absolutely wonderful having you. I have learned. I'm not artist inclined, I can be honest, but I'm always open to learning anything, and so it has been a pleasure having you this afternoon. Want to thank you again for your patience. Thank you for the wonderful drawing you did of the young ladies.
Appreciate
and I know you got an opportunity to even get some more information, so you got 2 for 1.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Yes, I'm finally back to stay. It's been a couple of rough weeks. We're gonna talk about that one of these days. We're gonna do some mental health sessions. It's been a rough January. It's been rough working. Yes, I was wondering the same thing too. I thought, somebody said they thought you were a superhero. Yes,
I am a
superhero. So, on that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It has been a really, really good return. We're the ones where we talk all issues, community-based, regional-based, international-based. We talk about things done for us, done about us, done by us. So today was just so fitting for We're the Ones.
Amazing.
And I want to thank my audience. Without you, there's no show. So thank you very much for tuning in. This is Petra Williams signing out. Have a good afternoon.
Carnival does be hot and spicy when Calypso is there. Carnival does be bright and gay. Carnival does be sweet and jumpy when the bandmen appear. Everybody jumping away. They will jump and whine and call for more. Jumping up to the sweet tempo. All the while the officials waking in. Trouble is the bandmen and the Calypsonian. Scrunting after Carnival done. And yet still we keep on jamming. Every year we come out playing Calypsonian and deep and man, east, west, north and south. From every part of this island we make our contribution. Don't leave us out. Remember we are the ones who make the jump, who make you jump up and dance. We're in the middle of the carnival. We are the ones keep up the back and